You mentioned 15-point lead in the fourth quarter. It was actually a 15-point lead with 6.5 minutes left.
Yeah, 6:44.
Okay, now, I think a lot of that was not having LeBron. You're used to him being your closer and all that. And they've even lost some leads with LeBron being there. Rondo wasn't there either. We praised him, right? When we praised him for holding off Golden State without LeBron, Rondo was the main catalyst doing all that. So they were without their two main playmakers. And then even in the last minute and a half, Lonzo was out with the cramping. So all that was negative. That said, I got to be honest, watching the whole game, I was a little bit encouraged because typically when teams have LeBron on them, they fall apart when he's not there because they're used to him doing so many things. Cleveland was 4-23 without – this is a NBA Finals team. A championship team was 4-23 without LeBron.
But
they had Kyrie and Kevin Love.
They were unwatchable, though.
Without LeBron.
Yes, they were unwatchable.
Right. And this is what I want to get to. What I saw last night from the Lakers, they looked like a different team without LeBron. Not a better team, obviously, but much different. I thought they were running different sets. There was more movement. And it showed me, especially with Kyle Kuzma hitting the big three with 41 seconds left, it showed me that these young guys, they have an identity outside of being LeBron supporting cast.
And what is it?
It's that they believe they can play well themselves.
Yeah, they
like
can score the basketball.
Kuzma and Hart are dogs.
Yes.
Right? And I think LeBron has a good supporting cast here is what I'm saying.
And listen, and Lonzo played really well in place of Rondo.
Really well. Almost a triple-double.
Played 37 minutes, and not the Lonzo triple-double we were used to last year, which was 11, 10, and 10. Right. I mean, he had 20, 9, and 12. Like, the cramping at the end was a tough break for him, and maybe the game goes differently. Here's the part that I'm not encouraged by. I mean, Kyle Kuzma's the second-best player on this team. It's no longer a question. See, I know you were on that corner early. Ingram is the guy that's supposed to be. He is not. I was reading the L.A. Times yesterday. I think he did an interview. I think it was Tanya Ganguly, someone with the L.A. Times, talking about how with Rondo out, with LeBron out, I know what I need to do. Well, he did it for a half. Brandon Ingram had 19 points with 8 minutes left in the third quarter. Finished with 22. You know why? Because he always finishes somewhere between 14 and 22. I thought he might finally crack the 26-point mark for just the second time since high school, but he couldn't do it. And it was Ingram, by the way, that missed a free throw late that allowed that shot to be the game winner instead of the game-tying free throw, the game-tying three, pardon me. And that's something systemic throughout the team. Certainly LeBron's a big part of that. They're the worst free throw shooting team in the league. So I understand why you're encouraged by some of it. But a big part of this team competing this year was supposed to be Brandon Ingram's development. And that I haven't seen. I have seen leaps from Kuzma, and I've seen flashes from Lonzo. I have not seen it from Ingram.
Yeah, I was pleased with what I saw out there to the young players, and I was pleased at Luke Walton. You could tell that he could coach. Their half-court sets were totally different than the sets they run with LeBron in, and that's all coaching. And the kids have a lot of confidence in Luke as a coach. So they were running their sets with a lot of confidence. So you could see their overall ball movement. They've been better defensively as we've gone on throughout the season, but without JaVale McGee, without Rondo. Rondo's the one who staved off the attack of Golden State the other night, or Christmas night. So without them, those three players, with LeBron being included, we don't expect the Lakers to be able to win many of these games. But from what I saw, very, very encouraged. The free throw shooting, that's a team problem. They did miss a critical one last night that would have put the game potentially out of reach. So that's what I want to be able to watch going forward. I know they can improve on that as a team, but you're not going to win many games when you have 3 of your first 6 or 7 players out of the lineup.
The Lakers play a very specific type of ball when LeBron is in there. We talked about that all season. How different did it look last night without him? And is it very easy for him to come back in and pick up where they left off?
It was entirely different. I mean, like I said, I've said LeBron is a system. He is a system unto himself. Everywhere he's been, he's played essentially the same way, and everybody else, including the superstars, fits in around LeBron. Last night, you hit it on the head. Luke did a great job. They look like a different team. I mean, they really did. Now, it's not a better team without LeBron. Look, what I'll say is this about LeBron and this team. This is the first time since 2007 when he's had house money. Like, nobody's expecting him to go deep with this team. If they get to the second round of the playoffs, he will get nothing but applause, except from our guys Skip and Rod Parker, right? But for the most part, they'll applaud him for that. So I think LeBron, and I know he's just answering questions, but from this point on, I wouldn't talk about recruiting guys. I wouldn't talk about getting elite superstars here anymore, because they're not getting Anthony Davis this year. If I'm New Orleans, there's no way I'm trading him this year.
Well, here's the thing. I don't mind him talking about recruiting free agents, but the Anthony Davis thing's different because it's a trade. So when he's talking about I'd love to have Anthony Davis, that I agree with you because
that he shouldn't talk about that.
I don't mind him talking about recruiting free agents.
But why now? Because that's telling my guys, we need more.
When you look at the growth,
we need more.
When you look at the growth, I think LeBron was to address it, but it's time to move on.
Right.
Because these young players, their overall confidence, Ingram, if he's not improving the way you want, if he's not developing the way you want, he's not going to develop more under the scrutiny of this potential trade.
Well,
so you are right about that. It's time to concentrate on these young players, invest as much time and energy into them. If that trade is going to happen, it's going to happen regardless if he talks about it or not.
Well, and that's the reason I'm saying I wouldn't talk about Anthony Davis is because the only way to get him is to trade some of these guys away. And that's the difference between talking about recruiting potential free agents you could add to the team and swapping out what would be 3 of the guys who started last night for Anthony Davis. Here's the one part, though, Chris, that I don't think they're going to be encouraged by. This would have been a great win. You had 5 guys starting last night, all drafted by the Lakers in the last 3 years. It was a homegrown starting lineup, all young guys on the road right after the best win this young team has ever had, and you could have built on that. They were in position to build on that, and they fell apart down the stretch. Like you mentioned, a 15-point lead with 6.5 minutes left, whittled to 1 with 2.5 minutes left. It went away like that. There are encouraging parts of it, and it counts in the standings now. Like at the end of the year, wherever the Lakers fall in the standings, it's going to be a game or 2 difference between 3, 4, 5, 6. And so that part of it's not encouraged.
They lost the same way with LeBron.
Right. They
lost the same
games.
way.
Yep.
Had the lead and couldn't finish at the beginning.
They've been building big leads all season, and then in the first half, and then losing them, even with LeBron. So I just think this is a chance to really do something special with this team if Golden State falters.
Cris Broussard, thank you so much. Will you come back?
Yeah, of course.
Can I get that in writing? Just want to write that down a little bit. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from First Things First, or go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.